Hey, Jenna. I teach this class a lot, and I'm just about all students comment on how surprised they are at how difficult this is compared to banana, and it is, and I think one of the reasons, of course, is the fact that we have serifs, plus we have three words instead of one, so there's more moving parts to keep track of. So definitely is more difficult. Here's my first iteration. I was looking now. I can see my F is definitely a bit slanted. That's a fun. The current inference design was harder. Yep. Okay, let's go and take a look. So I've been starting out these critiques by mentioning the importance of these videos in the course announcements. You definitely want to take a look at these. All of these starting, well, they're all important videos. I'm sorry, they're all important announcements, but these four right here all have to do with kerning and letter spacing. There's plenty of examples, tips and tricks, descriptions, explanations, etc. So you really want to get in. There's several videos in here. As a matter of fact, in the Welcome to Week 2, there's 4 videos in there alone. So be sure to jump in there. Okay. And this document right here is from one of those videos. And this is what I consider. I kerned this myself and spaced this myself. So I consider this to be perfect kerning based on basically 30 years of typography. So let's use comparison and we'll take a look. So I think yours, Jenna, is fantastic. I think its craft is impeccable. I think you've recognized some areas that like the F is slanted a little bit. So you've recognized some areas now. So I'm not too concerned about the craft at all. I think you'll naturally tend to address that in your second iteration. Let's talk about spacing. So starting with fire, I think we're a little wide through here. I think actually we're a little wide through all of fire. I think it will be closed down just a little bit. That just a little bit. This a little bit more. You got a little too much space here. Use this for your guide. And then that seems to be okay, but you can even nudge that a little closer. All right. And seems to be perfect. A little bit closer on the A and the N. Actually, we can actually move all these in. We can close down the spacing in both these spaces right here. So and should be a little bit tighter. I think ice is just about perfect. If anything, I would move the E a little bit closer. But actually, that looks just about perfect. Now, as far as word spacing goes, this space right here, you got to watch this space right here. And the reason being is because of this open counter right here. That causes a problem. It causes an illusion. I mean, if you space this perfectly, these two spaces right here, if they were perfectly even, this would look greater because of this open counter here. It creates this illusion that that space is greater. We want to adjust for that. Right now, we're almost seeing fire and ice as opposed to fire and ice. See how I close this down a little bit? So here we're seeing fire and ice, not fire and ice. Make sense? Okay, so those are my only recommendations. I think you're off to a really great start. Craft is impeccable, so fantastic. All right, if you have, oh, don't forget your overshoot too. Right here, this bottom, this D, overshoot is covered in week 2. Overshoot is curved letters hang over and under the baseline and the mean line. And that's because curved letter forms look smaller than their counterparts if we don't accommodate for overshoot. That's, again, an optical illusion. And again, that's covered under optical relationships in week 2 lectures. So watch your overshoot. All right? All right, fantastic start. Jenna, questions, comments, concerns, clarifications, please let me know. I'll be glad to provide anything you need in that regard. All right, great start. Thank you for sharing, Jenna.